Hi, this is Kelly Donahue-Piro with Agency Performance Partners, and I'm very excited to be a guest blogger on Agency Nation. In this blog, you're going to learn about the top 10 strategies we see the most successful agencies engage in their agency. I personally have had the pleasure of working with over 700 agencies across the US and Canada, and it's critical that when we go into agencies, we help them with these strategies. So let's begin. The first thing is they all have a defined and developed culture. This is something that's worked on consistently. Culture is really difficult to understand if maybe you've only worked in one agency and it's been family owned, but you have the opportunity to develop your own little society. What do you want and what's important are going to be critical. And you also need to be intentional. Next, forever recruiting. As you look towards what the agency of your dreams is, you might not have all the right people in the right seats on the bus. This means that forever recruiting helps shield you, and it's your insurance policy. If, for say, someone gets sick, decides they have to move, someone, quits, you now have the opportunity to have a bench of well-qualified people. In addition, if maybe someone's not a good cultural fit, you have an opportunity to move on and find someone who is. Meetings. We all don't love sitting in meetings, but they can be really fun and be an awesome opportunity for communication. Communication is one of the top 3 things that we see every team member is looking for more of, on what people should prioritize, what clients they should be working on. The more communication, the better. So, as you're looking to establish routine communication, structured meetings are very important. We recommend using the bank holidays, the President's Day, Martin Luther King Day, Veterans Day, Columbus Day, to use it for internal team training. In addition, having a weekly, at very most bi-weekly, meeting is really important for stimulated communication and the opportunity to touch base on your goals. Next up is leadership. Who does everybody report to? We often say that this can be a messy situation. We really should work towards a structure that has accountability and clearly who is in charge of who. Now, yes, people wear many different hats, and when somebody's out, there may need to be somebody who steps in, but there should be somebody on the front lines who's there to lead the troops, manage the team, and keep an eye on everything. Next up, performance feedback. How do we have a good performance loop? We see all too often agency owners that think that performance and feedback is going to put people on suicide watch, and we don't want that. Instead, what we want to do is embrace the idea that we all have strengths and weaknesses, and we can go into a coaching environment that leads to greater success, which leads to goal setting and incentive plans. Every agency should have goals and incentive plans. While they may seem overwhelming to create, at the end of the day, they work. Now, creating goals makes people vulnerable. It makes you, what happens if you fail? What happens if it doesn't work? Well, those are teachable moments that we can keep champing through. Relentless pursuit of maximizing technology is the next one. And this is so critical because as commissions are being reduced and the need to find people is very, very slim, we really have to embrace technology and maximizing our workflows and our strategies. Now, yes, you may get a little pushback from time to time on embracing technology, but the more comfortable we become, the better off it's going to be. Imagine a world without email, without carrier download, without ePay. What are you going to do? The more we embrace it now, the better off we'll be. We always say you want to be on the leading edge, not necessarily the bleeding edge. Constant training of your people. Your people are the agency's biggest investment. And so if we don't develop them, we often find that our investment is lackluster and mediocre. And you don't want that. You want your investment in your people to pay off. So training them on things like how to cross-sell, how to overcome rate issues, those are all key things that will make your team much less stressed out and have a better agency. There should also be a clear investment in branding and marketing. There's 36,000 agencies in America. How are you going to stick out? That's what branding is there to do. Investing in building your agency's brand will give you something that sets you apart from the pack. Then you should have a marketing budget, and if your agency can afford it, a marketing person that can keep fueling that message. Finally, clear identification of target markets. We don't want to write everybody. Now, just because we're targeting people doesn't mean that we stop writing other people. It means that we put our resources and our investment of time into attracting certain types of clientele. You start by building a persona, find out what's important to them, and then find out how you're going to best serve them. This works so that you can find your 5 or 6 targets out there that would mean the world to your agency. And you can treat them exceptional because that's who you want to write. Now, as you read this blog, you might get a little overwhelmed. That's okay. Just pick one objective every quarter to go follow through. And you'll see at the end my key phrase that I think makes all the sense in the world, which is outlast the suck. You will get pushback and you will feel like you're failing for a little while. Expect it, embrace it, and keep moving. If this is what the most successful agencies are doing, it's time that you learned from them and followed suit. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you.